There should be plenty of space for everyone to fit, but we are expecting 15 more people. So if you see a sliver of space, everyone's doing a great job lining up, but if you see a sliver of space next to you, maybe getting an inch or two closer, so as people come in, they can just magic carpet their way right into your spot. Thank you. Hi. Hi. I'm good. Did you say you're out of it? Me too. So did I. I know. Is this a sweatshirt? Yes! It looks so good in person. Yes! Are you going to make more? Tis the season. Where are you getting your fabrics from? Yeah, we love her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Have you been to, I'm sure you have, it's a little different, but Fab Scrap and Bach Building? They're fun. Yeah. Yeah. It's also just a beautiful space. No, I haven't even heard of that. Oh my God. I feel like those places are great to go to when you're like, you have your chops, you know, you can be like, I can cut, I don't need just perfect squares of fabric and I can like manipulate stuff, but some of those fabrics are like for linings or pockets. Yeah, I have a hard time with them, but I like to think that I can work with them. Yeah. I mean, it was so good. I got to show you all the stuff that I got. It's really good. Kelsey, hi. I was like, she's in Bali. She's never coming back.
I wish I stayed there.
No, never. On the list. Hi. Does everyone have space? There's some room up here. Maybe we can squeeze some people in middle rows. But we're waiting on a couple of more. But it looks like there might be some Tetris spots. Great to see you all. Nice to be together. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day if you have off or if you don't have off. I'm glad you guys could make it to class. For any one of us that are new to each other, my name is Anisha. This is also affectionate. Some of you have heard this joke before, so sorry for the repeats. My content is recycled, but it's the like dentist or doctor's appointment class where you're like, I have work, I have to go to a dentist appointment, and we come to yoga and then go home. So welcome to the noon hour. And it's my favorite time of the year to start to practice, because you got some space? There's some space up here if you'd like, or we might be able to squeeze in 1 or 2 mats in the second and third row. While you guys are getting settled, we'll use all the props. If you don't have them now, I can bring them to you as we practice. 2 blocks, a strap, blanket if your knees get a little tender, putting them down on the mat, or if you want to, 'tis the season of tucking ourselves in. It's always nice. But like I said, September and October are one of my favorite times of year at the yoga studio, because if we've been practicing together for some time, you might notice that I teach seasonally and annually, so each month there's a different focus on each class. And in a biased way, this is my favorite month because it's a phenomenal time of storytelling. For on October 14th, it's the 9-day, 9-night celebration of the goddess called Navratri. So Nava means 9, Ratri means night. So for 9 days, 9 nights, you celebrate all of the incarnations and the avatars of this feminine divine energy. Also, what the studio is named after, 3 of the main goddesses. So I lost my comic book from last week. I put it somewhere, I'll find it again, but luckily I have so many at home, so I pulled out the other one. And this one has even more stories than I remember, but I'm going to share with you the second story of the goddess. Last week, if we were together, we remember it was the story of the water buffalo demon who shape-shifted, and Durga was able to defeat him with all of her weaponry. Hopefully, if the schedule aligns, like in a couple weeks, I'll be able to just do a story time of all the stories in the middle of Navratri virtually. So if you want to hear these again or in a different way, it's just me needing to get my act together to like, I have time, let's put it on the calendar. But today's story is also about the many avatars of the goddess herself. So when we talk about the feminine divine, there's a version of her right here at the base of the tree, base of the plant, and she is the goddess known as Durga. She's the warrior goddess, the one who rides on the back of a tiger or a lion. She's the one who has the 10 arms, each holding a different piece of weaponry in her hands. And she'll come up in the story today, but she's not quite the focus. But the story begins once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in the foothills of the Himalayas. So in northern India, in this lush, beautiful paradise, is where Parvati lived, and Parvati was the householder goddess. She is the one who looks most like us in our human form. She wears plain clothes, she has seemingly 2 arms, she does daily tasks around her land, around her village. The pictures of her going to collect water at the river from a water pot. And as she's going to walk to the river, she encounters 2 demonic creatures. Their names are Chanda and Munda, and I'll tell you what their names mean as we start to practice today. So Chanda and Munda, they see her and they say, "Oh my God, you are the most..." Also, please take the way that I share these stories with a very thick, heavy grain of salty salt, because nowhere in the text will you hear someone being like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." But that's essentially what they did. They said, "You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Our general, you must marry him. There's no chance, like you have to go to him and marry him." And she says, Parvati says, "Okay, but the only way that I will marry someone is if I defeat them in battle. So bring him to me, and that's a vow that I've made to myself." So the demon Shumba, the demon general, he says, "Great, we're going to send our demonic army to the foothills. Let's go." And Parvati's there in her home, and she sees this demonic army coming. And the pictures, if you ever want to look at these comic pictures afterwards, they're just so beautifully done. Feel free to come take a look at them. It says, Parvati, standing in the threshold of her home, frowns, and from the furrow in her eyebrow, in between her third eye, emerges Durga, the warrior goddess. So Parvati is standing in the threshold, Durga, the warrior, emerges, and she's there riding on the back of her lion with her weaponry, slowly beginning to defeat this entire demonic army. The other tidbit to the story too is the demons come to attack her. She utters the word Om, and they all disintegrate into a poof of ash. So thousands and thousands of demons fully disintegrate. The demons that are remaining see that, they panic, and they call back their general. And while even more demons are coming, Durga, she frowns, and from the furrow in her eyebrow emerges Kali. Kali is the version of the goddess that is the most ferocious. She is the one with unbridled rage and energy. When you see pictures of her, she's much less composed than the other goddesses. She's wearing the necklace of 1,000 skulls. Her hair is like wild and out, and her tongue is always rolling out of her mouth. That's for next story. And the 3 of them together, Parvati standing in the threshold of her home, Durga in the middle of the battlefield, and Kali essentially creating like a tornado of energy, defeat the entire demonic army. They consume the general, and all order is restored. And the beauty of the story of how it ends is not all of the goddesses remain at the end. Kali goes back into Durga, Durga goes back into Parvati, and so while the demons are defeated, after they're defeated, Parvati is there remaining again in the threshold of her home, with her home protected. I love that story so much. But there's, every time I share this story, if you've heard it before, if it's the first time you've heard it before, you can always take this story to be like, these are just superheroes that existed in the world, and what beautiful fairy tales and fantasies to imagine and dream of. But in this yoga practice that we do here with each other, the reminder is every version of the goddess and every version of the demon is an aspect of you. And so you hear these stories and they reveal dimensions of yourself that you might know very intimately, or you might be getting to know more intimately. And the metaphor from this story that's going to tie into our practice today is, just like the goddess herself, within our one body and being, there's an infinite amount of versions within us. You are the householder, you are the warrior, you are the ferocious, you are the yogi, you are the student, you are the friend. The dimensions that exist within us that we don't even realize yet all exist here. So as we practice today, my goal is to do a lot of the same poses over and over and over again. Similar series, similar sequences, to see which version of yourself reveals itself. The demonic, because we'll do demon poses, the demonic, the ferocious, the householder, and all within the fluency of your breath. And again, for those of us that are new to each other, October is a very chatty month in the yoga studio because I love to tell the stories, but I promise we'll get to moving and get some rest. But not everyone talks this much, so if you want to take somebody else's class, we'll get you right into practice. Please feel free to do so, but I got 2 more weeks of talking, but I'm glad we're here together. Take breaks, drink water. Please let me know what you need for air and cool. It's like cold outside, hot in here, so be vocal with what your climate control needs are. And let's get started. Take your time to find a comfortable seat, however you find yourself. Feel free to sit up on props or blankets or blocks so that your hips might be slightly higher than your knees. And as you soften or close your eyes, begin to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, we get to see versions of ourselves more clearly than before. The you that you were before you arrived. The you that you are now. And the you that you are still becoming. And as you feel every breath that you take, its natural rhythm, its natural cadence, letting each breath dissolve the day that was. Letting each breath let you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after, making space to imagine what has yet to come. Let your breath naturally begin to deepen as you feel it move from the nose, down into your belly, and up into your heart. And with each exhale, offer the breath up and out through the crown of your head. Continue with that breath a few more times, just on your own. Letting each inhale move in, down, and wide. And every exhale offering itself up and out. Let's start our time and our practice here with each other with 3 more rounds of that same breath. When you're ready, you can gather your hands to center where that feels for you, maybe on your body or in front of your heart in a moment of self-reverence and Anjali Mudra. Wait for your next inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer it out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of the difference that comes when you listen for your breath. And now, keeping that attention as best as you can, release your hands, gently blink your eyes open, and take your time to come onto your hands and your knees. We'll meet in tabletop as you're ready to begin linking movement and breath together. In your table, spread your fingers nice and wide. Might have your toes tucked or untucked, but begin to move on your own through some rounds of cat and cow, rounding and arching the spine as you move with your breath. Sometimes it feels sweet to stay more rounded or arched for a few breaths. Or take a couple of breaths in table or child's pose. But even here, can you notice how every round of your breath reveals a different version of you? The more you deepen your breath, it naturally deepens you. Slow down each breath in. And lengthen the exhales out. And when you're ready, we'll meet back in table, finding yourself back to your neutral spine. Walk your knees back a few inches behind your hips. Walk your palms forward in front of your shoulders. We'll meet in downward facing dog, taking as much time or as many breaths as you need to find your way there. You can at any point today be in table, in child's pose, in puppy pose. But let it be an offering to your breath with any choice that you choose. Durga had all of the weaponry available to her. She had tridents and swords and discuses in all of her hands. And as those qualities of her exist within you, your most powerful weapon is the fluency of your breath. So take notice of what it feels like here to begin. Deepen the breath in and lengthen the breath out. And at the bottom of your next exhale, lift your heels high up off the earth, soften your knees, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into that first forward fold of class. Bend your knees as much as you need to so your fingertips can tap the floor in front of your feet. Or feel free to find one or both blocks underneath your hands so you can really bring the floor high up to meet you, to let the upper back soften. Let the back of your neck soften as you bow in towards yourself. Take a breath here as you are, and exhale to offer all of it out. And now climb your hands up onto your hips, stand down through your legs, and big breath in brings you all the way up to rise as you release your hands. We'll take a few rounds of these sun salutations, Surya Namaskars. Wait for your breath as you reach the arms up to the sky. And on your exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, reach the heart forward. And exhale to step it back to plank pose, find the top of your push-up. Knees down or up, but reach back through the heels and slide the heart forward. Take a big breath in. And exhale to bend the elbows as you lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale to rise for baby cobra or cobra, lift up through the heart. And on your exhale, we meet in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. 3 deep breaths here. Take notice of what it is that you feel. Slow down the breath in and offer the breath out. Now remember, a practice of repetition, the same series of poses over and over and over again. What version of yourself reveals itself to you? The householder, the warrior, the ferocious, the one that breathes. Can you take notice of what each round of breath finds its way in and out through you? The bottom of your exhale, lift your heels high, soften your knees, and come on forward to the top of your mat, standing forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen, and big exhale to fold as you bow in towards yourself. Wait for the inhale to rise, stand down through your legs, reach up through the arms, and exhale to let the hands come down by your sides. With your breath, more than my voice, big breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, take it all in as you come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to step it back to plank. A full breath here at your pace. And as you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink the breath in as you rise, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. And on your exhale, let the whole breath carry you back to table, puppy, downward facing dog, wherever you find yourself. 3 breaths here. A reminder, the stories of the goddess, this divine feminine energy that exists within every one of us in relation with that divine masculine energy. The stories and mythology, they give us moments to see aspects of ourselves. So as you soften or close your eyes, take a breath in to hug those hands towards each other from right to left. And as you exhale, keep that as you push your palms down and forward to lift your hips high to the sky, get long through the spine. At the bottom of your exhale, lift the heels high, soften your knees, and come on forward to the top of your mat, Uttanasana. Inhale to come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale to fold as you bow into your heart. Big breath brings you to rise. Stand through the legs, let the arms grow tall, and exhale to let the hands float down by your sides. Check to see that your knees and toes are pointing ahead, and with your palms onto your thighs, bend your knees, sit your hips back. I think this was a demon pose that someone said last week, so we're going to sneak it in. So check to see that the knees are pointing ahead, the toes are pointing ahead. And as you sit your hips back, let the hips get heavy as you push your hands into your thighs to lift the heart. Stay here, or maybe those arms reach up to the sky to add a little more heat. But a deep breath moves in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale, hips get heavy as you lift the heart to the sky. Big inhale to rise, stand through the legs, reach up, get taller, and exhale to fold as you bow in towards yourself. Inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold into your heart. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot all the way back to catch your lunge, and gently lower the left knee down onto the floor or your blanket. Climb your hands up onto the hips or the front thigh to come up to rise. And now hug the legs together from front to back to steady the ground beneath you. On your inhale, sweep both arms all the way up to the sky. With your palms facing forward, hook onto your thumbs. If the shoulders feel tight, keep the hands wide like a big V. But as you press your fingerprints forward, grow 1 inch taller and tip to the right towards that right leg. Take a breath into that left side of your waist. Can you keep wrapping the left hip forward as you stretch up and over to the right and press the ears back to lift the chin? Inhale to come all the way up through center. Take your time, hands tap the floor and step it forward. Lift the back knee, as many hops as you need to bring the left foot to meet the right. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen, get long through the spine. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. With your feet a fist width distance apart, bend your knees, sit your hips back, another round of Utkatasana, chair pose. Maybe hands to the thighs, maybe arms overhead, but offer it to your breath. Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, can you slide the bottom ribs back, breathe into the middle of your back, press your ears back to lift your chin, and sit your hips another inch lower to the earth. Which version of yourself reveals itself to you? Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now big inhale to stand through the legs, grow tall. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Wait for the inhale as you come up halfway, get long through the spine. And as you exhale, bow in towards yourself. Keep the left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back to catch the lunge, and kiss the right knee down onto any padding that you need. For Anjaneyasana, low lunge, hands can climb up onto the hips and give the legs a hug together. Feel those legs steady underneath. And now we add the arms, big breath in, sweep the arms up. Hands can stay like a big V, giving your shoulders more space, or hook that awkward thing on top when we do the first side. Sometimes the fingers go back behind the palms, press the fingertips forward. Grow tall as you tip to the left, towards the left thigh. Keep hugging the legs together. Think left heel back, right thigh forward as you reach up and over to the left. And press the ears back to lift your chin away from the chest. Wait for the inhale as you come all the way back upright. Hands tap the ground. We meet again in downward facing dog. Lift the back knee and step the left foot back. Pedal the heels from side to side. Take a breath to notice any difference. And now inhale brings you to plank pose. Find the top of your push-up. Exhale to lower all the way down onto your belly. Reach your arms alongside of you. Flip your palms down to face the floor for this round of locust pose. Before we lift up for Shalabhasana, shrug your shoulders to the ears. Hug the shoulder blades together. Slow breath in to lift the head. Lift the heart, float the palms up off the earth. And for this one, as you exhale, press your feet further down into the ground. Can you feel how as you press the feet into the floor, does that let the heart get lighter away from the earth? And as you lift the heart, can you press the feet even further down into the ground? Take one more breath in, hug the shoulder blades together. Stay for the exhale, push the tops of your feet down to lift up through the heart. Slowly release, lower all the way down to the ground. Take a breath to rest here on the earth. The more you breathe into that belly, the more space you might find in the middle and low back behind you. And after you take a couple of breaths here, come on back through center. Press yourself up through to tabletop or plank pose. Peel yourself away from the earth. And we'll meet again in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Next inhale floats the right leg up and back. Bend your right knee and open up through the right hip for this three-legged dog. Imagine like you're trying to foot high five your friend or the wall to the left. And now check to see, is that left shoulder dipping down to the earth to compensate? You might peek between your hands, push down into the left palm to lift the left shoulder away from the earth. Think like you have another hand in your outer left hip. Tack the left hip back and let the left heel get a drop heavier to the floor. See what you feel down there. Inhale to square the hips back off. Peek between your hands and step it all the way through to lunge. Pivot your back heel to the earth and rise to warrior two. That's it. Check to see that the right knee and toes point straight ahead. And now walk your left foot back another inch or two to get longer in your stance. Can you reach back, bless you, through the left fingertips? Let the left leg get heavy. And the further back you reach, let the right thigh get heavier to the earth. Let's go a few more times with the breath. Turn your palms up to the sky. On your inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach both arms up. And as you exhale, back to warrior two. Bend the knee, arms to a T. Twice more with your breath. Big breath in. Reach all the way up. As you exhale, let the front thigh descend while the crown of your head grows tall. Last one. Big breath in. Exhale to let the front thigh get heavy to the earth. Now keep the legs steady. Just reach your arms up to the sky. Bend your right elbow. Pat yourself on the upper back. And let the left fingertips hold on for this version of cow face pose. Think right elbow to the sky. Press your head back into the forearm to lift your chin. Bottom ribs back. Head back. Stay here. We've done a mini side stretch already. You might slowly tip up and back towards the back of your mat. But take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Bend into the right thigh and try to guide your right knee open towards those pinky toes. Inhale to come all the way up through center. Bring your arms to a T and now press that front leg straight. Take a full breath in. Triangle pose. Right fingertips to your block or to the floor on the outside or inside of that front leg. That's it. As you reach the left arm up to the sky, I'm turning the fans on. I'm sweating, so I'm turning them on. Another weapon of climate control, but take a breath. As you hug your legs towards each other from side to side, can you push down into that right hand and stretch the left arm straight up towards the sky to get tall? Take one more breath in. Stay for your exhale. Side stretch. Sweep your left arm over your ear towards the front of the room. Imagine like someone's holding your left hand and they're trying to pull you towards the top of your mat, and you're resisting with the left foot as you press your left foot into the earth. Now look down to the ground. Bring your hands to the earth. We'll meet slow and steady in downward facing dog. As you take a few breaths here. That was a lot on one side. Pedal the heels. Take notice of what you feel from one leg to the other. And now always your choice. You can stay here with your breath. At any point, those knees can lower down and you feel gravity close to you. Or you might let your breath take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But wherever you go, to the breath it moves first. Slow down the breath in and offer the exhale out. When you find your way back to down dog, more than my voice, on your inhale, float the left leg up and back. Bend the left knee and open up through the left hip. As you foot high five your friend to the right, imagine Durga had 10 arms coming out of her. Imagine like you had one more coming off the right side. And as you push that second right hand down into the earth, float the right shoulder away from the ground. Tack your right hip back and let the right heel get a drop heavier to the earth. Inhale to square the hips off, peek between your hands, and let the left foot come all the way through to lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor. We rise to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. That's it. Walk the right foot back a centimeter more to the back of your mat. And sometimes we tend to lean forward over the left leg. Try to do the opposite. Stretch the right arm back to the wall behind you. Let the right foot get heavy. And keep that as you bend into the left thigh. With the breath we go. Inhale to straighten the leg. Reach the arms up. Get tall. And as you exhale, Warrior 2. Twice more. Full breath in. Belly to heart. As you exhale, let the front thigh descend. Guide the left knee open. One more big breath in. Reach the arms up. Stay for the exhale as you bend into the front thigh. Lift the heart. Lift your gaze. Now legs stay steady as you reach only the arms to the sky. Bend the left elbow. Let the right fingertips hold on. As the elbow grows taller to the sky, press your head gently back into the forearm. Let there be space between your chin and your chest. Bottom ribs back, head back, stay right here, or maybe gently tip back towards the back of the room. But the breath moves in, down, and wide. That's it. Stay for the exhale. Can the left thigh get heavier as you guide your left knee open towards the pinky toes? Inhale to come up through center. Slowly unravel your arms, and now press the left leg straight. Take a breath, get taller, reach out through the fingertips. And as you exhale, Trikonasana, left fingertips tap something solid, the block, many blocks, or the earth as the arm reaches up to the sky. That's it. Find the tiniest bend in both knees, especially if they lock out, and give the legs a squeeze towards each other from front to back. Now as you drive the left hand down into the earth, feel the right fingertips grow 2 inches taller as if you could touch the skylights overhead. A bigger breath in. And on your exhale, a side stretch. Sweep that right arm over your ear towards the front of the room. Imagine like the right fingertips could stretch 1 inch longer as the right pinky toes resist into the earth. And now look down to the ground. Bring your hands to the earth. We meet once again in downward facing dog as the hips lift to the sky. A breath here, a breath in table, a breath in puppy. But wherever you are, an offering to each breath in and out. Slow down the breath in and offer every exhale out. The version of yourself that reveals itself. The one full of sweat, full of breath, full of space. Okay, from your down dog, let's lower the knees down onto the earth. If you haven't already, sit back onto your heels, sip on some water, shake out what needs to get shaken out, and take notice of what you feel. Getting warmish. We gotta do the thighs now. We did the backs of the legs, we gotta do the fronts. And then again, and again, and again, and again. Chair pose was a demon. Like making soft eye contact to remember who told me what last week, because I've already forgotten. For those of us that are new to each other, also the month of October, I ask you what your demon poses are, like those poses that you're like not interested. Some people are willingly giving them to me, and others are like, which I completely understand. I would be on this side of the train too. But the metaphor of the demon, like I mentioned, I often like to think that we are only the heroic and the good-hearted characters in the story, which is true. That is a deep aspect of every single one of us. But the part that makes us three-dimensional is that we are also the demons in the story, and they reveal more to us than we normally expect. And so Chanda and Munda, the demons of this story, those 2 demonic generals that came and were like, wow, Parvati, you're so pretty. Marry our guy. How the script goes. The names mean, Chanda is a different word for moon, and it's the one that's like more introspective, the quiet, and Munda is more of a solar, like their names actually signify something. It's the one with the more quick to action, like fiery, moving forward energy. And so even though they're demons, they have incredible qualities within them that complement each other. So the reason I ask for your demon poses is because if we avoid those poses, like I do, they tend to consume us. You know, we tend to be like, I can't do those poses for X, Y, and Z reasons, which are all very real and true. But sometimes the demons reveal more to us that explain why we are the way we are. So that was my long-winded way of giving you a second. If you have a demon pose that you want to tell me about, I'd love to know it to teach it next week. And you don't have to come back. Fire log? Oh, yeah. Oh, good. I also like this game of charades where you do things and I'm like, is that the pose that you think it is? Fire log. Did we do that last week? You missed it. We'll do it again. We got 2 more. Warrior 1 is the worst of them all. Anyone else? Warrior 1? Yeah. I never teach it, ever, because I hate it. Because it's my demon too. We can do it. Warrior 1, Vashisthasana. Wheel. These are good. Pigeon. Look at you, pigeon. No, I didn't say that. Fallen triangle. Guys, these are great. I'm going to write them down. We won't do them all today.
Back to back.
But there's something like incredibly empowering about hearing what everyone's demon poses are, doing a sequence around them, and also being like, your demon isn't my demon, but I want to know, is it my demon? Or could I find a different way around it? Okay, thank you for sharing. I have my running notes list. Let's do a thigh stretch, and then maybe I'll sneak one of them in. So come into tabletop. Feel free to use blankets or blocks underneath your hands to give yourself steadiness. But we'll take it with a twist. So bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand, like a lizard lunge. Check to see that your left knee is behind your left hip. And as you walk your left hand off to the left, right palm is going to come to the right thigh. We're working towards this pose called Twisted Monkey. Hug your knees towards each other. Now bend your back knee and lift the back toes up off the floor. Stay and breathe here. Or your right hand might start to reach towards the back of the room. You might hold the foot. You might lasso a strap around the foot. I've been liking sticking, fingers between the toes to give yourself a little manual pedicure stretch. But as you hug the right shoulder up and back, bring the left shoulder up and back. And take a breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Maybe the right thigh feels or even gets heavier towards the earth. The front thigh descends. Whew. Okay, on your inhale with care, release the leg. Come on back through to table. Maybe a few rounds of cat and cow or a breath or two in tabletop here. And we'll take it to the other side. So left foot to the outside of your left hand. Yes.
The standing knee, should we be trying to move it inward? Because mine is kind of bowing out.
Bowing out is totally fine. The more inward it goes, sometimes you feel straight on the inside of the knee. I try to keep the knee and toe pointing in the same direction. So for this one, to Keyshawn's point, like turn your left toes off to the left so the knee can guide open. And then as you climb your left palm onto the left thigh, you can really guide the knee open towards those pinky toes. Now hug the knees together, bend your back knee, and begin to reach the left hand back. You can breathe here. Maybe the hand lassos around a strap or the foot, or you stick your fingers between your toes. But shrug the left shoulder up and back. Shrug the right shoulder up and back as you press the ears back. Take a deeper breath in, down, and wide. And exhale to maybe let the front left thigh get heavier to the earth. Yes. Inhale to slowly release the leg. Take your time. We'll meet again in downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Wheel pose. Warrior one. Fallen triangle. Vashisthasana. Fire Agni Stambhasana. Pigeon. Ha! Okay, good. Got it. Lift the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. And come on up to warrior two. One more time. Back heel to the earth, arms to a T. We've been here before. Take notice of what you feel. Reach back through the left arm. Let the front thigh get heavy. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, guide your right knee open towards those right pinky toes. Now push the front leg straight, flip the right palm to the sky, and on your inhale, ride up and back for this version of reverse triangle. Stretch back through the right fingertips, press the ears back, and now inhale to come all the way up through center. Keep the front leg straight as we find our way back to Trikonasana. With the right fingertips on something solid, hug the legs together. Now can you bring the right shoulder to the left shoulder, the left to the right, and press both ears back to lift the chin. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And on your next inhale, take your time, look down to the ground, bring both hands to the earth. We meet again in downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. Inhale to float the right leg, the same one that was just forward, up and back. Bend your right knee and open up through the right hip. As you push into the left hand, lift the left shoulder away from the ground. Tack the left hip back. Let the left heel get heavy to the earth. Big breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale to square the hips back off and step it all the way back forward through to lunge one more time. Pivot your back heel. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 2. The same demons reveal themselves. Which version of yourself shows up? Take a breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Let the front thigh get heavier as you stretch out through the fingertips. Now flip the front palm to the sky to reverse the warrior. Bend in the front knee as you reach up and back through the right hand. Stretch back through the right fingertips. Right thigh gets heavy as you guide your right knee open. Inhale to come all the way back up through center. Press the front leg straight. Last round. Exhale to Trikonasana. The same series of poses. You are the householder. You are the warrior. You are the ferocious. You are the one that breathes. Can you feel the full fluency of your breath, your most powerful weapon in your arsenal, as you find your way into Trikonasana again? On your inhale, take your time, look down to the ground, bring your hands to the earth. We meet in downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, a breath to notice any difference from side to side. And on your next inhale, float the left leg up and back. Step it through to catch the lunge. Pivot your back heel to the floor. And on your breath, ride the inhale as you come all the way up to Virabhadrasana 2. Bend into the front thigh. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Let the left thigh get heavy. Now push the left leg straight. Flip the left palm to the sky and a big arc to reverse the triangle. Press down into the left toes. Stretch out through the left fingertips. Inhale to come all the way up through center. Get long through the fingers. And as you exhale, Trikonasana. Take a breath here. From the wrinkle in Parvati's eyebrow emerged Durga. From the wrinkle of Durga's eyebrow emerged Kali the ferocious. As you find yourself here, in the same version of the poses we've been in before, which breath-filled divine version of yourself can you see? A bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And now look down to the ground. Bring your hands to the earth. We bring it back to downward facing dog for a breath. Lift the left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee. Foot high five your friend to the right. And as you press down into the right hand, float the right shoulder away from the ground. Tack the right hip back, let the right heel descend to the earth. Inhale to square the hips back off, look between your hands, and one last time, step it through to lunge. Pivot the back heel down. Ride the breath in to come up to Virabhadrasana 2 for the final time, bend into the front thigh. As you guide the left knee open, flip the front palm to the sky and sail back to Radiant Warrior. As you stretch back through the left fingertips, bend into the left thigh, guide your left knee open, and huge inhale to come all the way back upright. Press the front leg straight. On your breath, Trikonasana, last time. Hug the feet, the legs, the thighs together. The same series of poses. The same you that you were, the you that you are, and the you that you are still becoming. Can you feel the full fluency of your breath? Push down into the left arm, reach the right fingertips 1 more inch. Try to touch the ceiling fans with the right hand. And now look down to the ground. Bring your hands to the earth as you take it back to downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Wait for the breath in as you ripple forward to plank pose. On your exhale, we meet on our bellies. Make a pillow with your hands, rest on your forehead or on your cheek as you find full pranam down on the earth, draped on the ground. Feel the breath fill that belly up to broaden the space in the low and mid back. Feel your breath fill the belly and then the heart to broaden the whole back of your body. Now in the practice of repetition, Durga also held a bow and arrow in her hands the whole month. We take time to practice all of the weaponry that she held. So I'm going to talk us through 3 separate rounds of Dhanurasana, bow pose. You get the option of choosing the choice that you'd like to take. You can stay resting here on the ground the whole time. The first one will be unbound. And the second two, you might reach your hands back for your feet. But if you're moving towards round 1 out of 3 of bow pose, stay down on the ground, bend your knees, flex your feet as you point your heels to the sky. Reach your arms alongside of you, flip your palms down to the ground like locust pose. We're going to keep the palms heavy as you shrug your shoulders to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and like you did in chair, can you hug your thighs towards each other? Now without reaching for the feet, as you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, float your palms up off the earth, and on your exhale, reach the heels to the sky to lift up into this unbound version of locust. Maybe a little more demonic than the bound version. Hug your thighs towards each other, shrug your shoulder blades together as you lift the palms up 1 more inch. Send it to the breath. The breath goes in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Think heels to the sky as you lift the heart towards the front of the room. Inhale to slowly release. Lower all the way down. You can rest on the other cheek. You can rest on your forehead. You might wiggle your hips from side to side. But an offering to your breath. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Okay, 2 more times. This round, for the next one, you can do the unbound version again. It's going to engage those hamstrings a lot to give you lots of strength in the back of the body. Or you might reach your hands back for your feet, or bring a strap around your feet as well. But for this round 2, bend your knees, flex your feet. Think shoulders to the ears as you hug the shoulder blades together. And now either hands are free or hands reach back for those heels. As you breathe in, lift your head, lift your heart, lift your legs up off the earth. Think inner thighs towards each other as you hug the legs together. Shrug the shoulders up and back and press the ears back to lift the chin. Take a deep breath in and down. Stay for 1 more exhale. And on your inhale, with control, gently release. Lower onto cheek or forehead as you rest here on the earth. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Okay. Prop yourself up onto your forearms just for a moment. I want to give you one last option for round 3 that you can take or leave. And this is going to use one of our other weaponries, a blanket, to maybe create some more leverage. So if you see this and you're like, I'm not interested, rest, do locust pose. You can do anything that we've done before. But for one more option, you can bring a blanket, almost like a little shelf. It'll come above your pubic bone, somewhere around your belly button, so your hips will still be on the ground. And it's the same way. Your hands will reach maybe bound or unbound. Maybe they reach for the feet. And you're pressing your thighs, you're really driving your thighs into the ground to lift up through the heart. It gives you a little shelf to press your thighs down. If the thighs lift, great. But the more you press your thighs into the earth and hug your legs together and reach the heels back, the heart might grow taller. Like we did in that first locust, if you remember, pushing your feet down into the ground. If you see that and you're like, I'm good, don't use the blanket. You can do that same action with your belly on the floor, but just an option. So maybe as you come down onto the floor, blanket under your belly, you want your pubic bone, your hip bones on the sticky mat. But round 3, take a breath, bend your knees, reach your hands alongside of you. Maybe they reach for the feet, maybe they don't. Think thighs towards each other. And as you breathe in, think legs back as you lift up through the heart. If your belly is on the blanket, press your thighs down into the earth. Think thighs down into the floor, hug the thighs together to lift up through the heart. Now if you're holding the feet, stay holding. Push the right leg back into the right hand, lift the right heel up 1 more inch. Push the left leg back into the left hand, lift the left leg up 1 more inch. And now push both legs into your hands, hug the thighs together as the heels lift to the sky. Drink it in and exhale to let it all go. Woo! A new demon? No one asked for it, but a new demon. Feel the version of yourself that you are now, the beating of your heart, the fullness of your breath. Kali retreats back into Durga. Durga retreats back into Parvati. And after all of the demons are defeated on the battlefield, the householder is left there in all of their wholeness. If you're on a cheek, turn to the other side and take a fuller breath in and a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips. Good. Slowly, we're going to come one counter pose for those big belly down back bends is taking downward facing dog just one more time to find all of those curves back in the spine. So take your time to peel yourself away from the earth for the last down dog of class. Bring your feet an inch or two wider than they already are. Lift your heels and take a generous bend in your knees to help the backs of your legs release. Now you might see your knees. Can you guide your knees open towards your second and third toes, maybe creating some space in the low back? And now keep the knees bent as you push your palms down and forward and think butt up and back to the wall behind. A breath here, a deeper breath out. And now lower the knees to the earth. Take your time to flip over onto your back. Let's have your heads up towards me, feet towards the door you came in or the back of your mat. Bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor as wide as your mat, and let your hands just rest anywhere on your body, on your belly, on your chest, if there's space, out to a T. But with your feet very wide, take a deep breath in and open your mouth to let it out as you drop your knees to the right. Big inhale, drink the breath in as the knees come up through center, and open your mouth to let it out as you drop your knees to the left. Go 2 more times as slowly as you can, dropping your knees from one side to the other. It's really a way to let the butt muscles soften and massage on the earth, for the belly to be very full and soft, and to counterpose those deep back bends that we just did in rounds. The next time your knees drop to the left and come back through center, hug the right thigh in towards your belly, give it a squeeze. Make some small circles with the right foot or the right ankle. And now just watching for neighbors in front of you, extend your left leg long on your mat. You might have your block close by as an option, but for a twist here on the earth, let the left hand hold onto the right thigh as you move the right leg over to the left. I like to bring a block underneath my right thigh so I can really lift the floor higher to meet me. Maybe a couple of blocks there, so you can let the whole right side of your body soften into something solid. But as the right shoulder softens to the earth, take a slower, deeper breath in and a longer, steadier breath out. The demons defeated, the divine energies retreat back into one. Can you feel the version of your breath here that was always there, but perhaps changed? On your next inhalation, uncross the legs, draw your knees and hips and feet back through center. Give the left leg a hug in towards your heart or belly, maybe some gentle circles with the left ankle in one or the other direction. And as you extend the right leg long in front of you, take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let the left leg spill to the right, perhaps bringing one or many blocks underneath the left thigh. The beauty of this divine feminine that exists in every single one of us is in the mythology she emerges in great times of need. Every version of herself transforms the householder into the warrior, into the ferocious. But those energies, those versions come back into her form once the demons get defeated. So as you feel your version of the ferocious, your version of the warrior, your version of the householder, all here within yourself, you are the Kali, the Durga, the Parvati within one. Feel yourself draped down onto the ground. On your inhale, uncross the legs, draw the knees through center, and give them a squeeze in towards your heart. We've done some asymmetrical work from right to left. See what it feels like to hold the right and left side, maybe in towards your chest or towards your version of happy baby, catching the backs of the thighs, or the calves, or the ankles, or the feet. But let the back of your head, your upper back, and your hips soften to the earth as you drape down onto the ground. A deep breath in, and on your exhale, gently release your legs as you lower them to the earth. We'll meet in our pose of rest in Shavasana next. So give yourself a few moments to take anything it is that you need. Any additional layers or props to get comfortable. You might let your hair down or let your glasses go safely off to the side. Even let the watches release. But as you drape yourself onto the altar of the earth, where each breath dissolves the practice that was, each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after gives you space to imagine what has yet to come. You here in your most divine form, full of breath, full of every version of yourself that you've been before, every version of you that you are now, and those versions of yourself you are still transforming into. Can you let each breath that you take here let you become heavier down into the earth? And the heavier you become into that unconditional support of gravity, the more spacious, the more divine you may just begin to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Taking a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Every one of your inhales is this divine energy exhaling and pouring her way into you. And every one of your divine exhalations is an offering to that breath in. So as you feel your breath deepen with the divine and the divine deepen with yours, begin to take any gentle movements that just feel sweet to you. Maybe wrists and ankles slowly move in one or the other direction. You might slowly tip your head from one side to the other. Or just being mindful of those around you. Perhaps your arms move away from the legs, or you draw your knees in towards your heart. But when you're ready, we'll meet with the knees bent, arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to coil into yourself. A breath or two here down on the ground. And as you push into the earth, come up to rise to your comfortable seat, just as we began. As you find a tall spine and offer it to the breath, from you, the householder, emerged Durga the warrior. From Durga the warrior emerged Kali the ferocious, and now they all return back into the version of the you that you are now. So as we finish our time and our practice here with each other, we'll take one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. As you take a deep breath in and a longer breath out. You might bow your head towards your hands or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple yet sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to the you that you were, the you that you are, the you that you are still becoming into along with everyone else who practiced alongside next to you. And with all of my heart, I bow to every version of you. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, everyone. Take such good care of yourselves and the selves of yourselves and the selves of those selves. Drink water, stay warm, stay cool. I have 2 more stories to share as October goes on. If you want to peek at the comic book, you can peek at the comic book. And my announcement is October 21st. Just got put on the schedule. I'm be doing a advancing asana class. It's like a 3-hour fun, very casual workshop style. There's no prerequisites needed for practice, but we work through maybe some demon poses, but some poses that are just a little bit more complicated and fun to break down in good company. So hopefully see you there. And then I think that's it. There's so much stuff. Thank you. Anyone else have announcements? Any stuff going on with you? Ginger snap! Get that ginger snap downstairs. Yes. Drink it. Heal yourself. It's so good. Thank you. Yay. Thanks everyone at home. Oh, also if you want to hear the story from last week and missed it, it's on the recording. You can just watch the first 6 minutes and then not watch the rest of class. But there's, all the recordings will have the stories, and then hopefully on the 21st, after that class, I'll do a little story time.